Hello and welcome to the second part of drawing this group, the small faces. This is the pencil portrait that I've been working on for 8 days, and just to show you it's real, there we go, real. So I'm bushed, I'm knocked out. I'm not going to say this one was easy, it's not. I'm very, very tired. Now, what I'm doing at the moment, this jumper, there are 2 pictures. And that one is lighter. So I'm using the lighter one to give me a guide on what needs to be drawn, where the shading is, and then I'm going over it with the darker tones. And while this is 8 days in, and I think it will be done today, feels like it'll be done today. And there are times when you do a portrait that you're glad that it's finished. That's not to say anything about the band. I really like the small faces, but it's just this picture has really burnt me out. It's doing this kind of shading, you're not bearing on, you're doing very light tones and building. The only thing is, when you're doing this kind of building, it can be like drawing on an oil slick. You get so much graphite on the paper that your pencil slips, and you feel like you're not getting a shade that you need. I mean, this needs to be done because it's a bit too light. I mean, this jacket, just this jacket here, that's taken about 6 hours to do. And there we go, there's a problem. And when you're doing heavy pencil, like, well, this one's what, 8B, but I can go up to 14. But when you're doing this kind of pencil work, the heavier the pencil, the slippier it gets. It's not like painting. Painting, you can just put a black on it, and you can deepen the shades, and it's relatively quick. Plus, if you're painting with white, if you've got a white area, like this section here, which has got to be shaded out a bit, in pencil you have to leave it because it's the white of the paper. If you're doing it in paint, you can just paint a dot. What I've got here, 3B. So I'm just going to work on the leg. Also, when you're doing this kind of work, if you've got multiple faces, 1, you're drawing on a knife edge, but 2, if you've got a face over here and you want to do this face, you sort of have to jump, and it's on this side, with me being right-handed, it's not too bad because the picture can be, so I can see it like this, dum dum, you know, that kind of work, and I can put it close. But if you've got a face and you've got to jump between multiple faces, it's always a challenge because your brain has to remember where you are, and it's sort of like doing a jigsaw puzzle without the instructions, without the cover. without the picture on the top of the box. And it's a big jigsaw puzzle as well. It can be, let's say, 3,000 pieces. It's that kind of difficult. Some of them are easier than others, but none of them are truly easy. It surprises me when I can get one done in about 4 days. I mean, there's one picture that I've done of gremlins, and that took 40 days to draw. That was 40 days doing this. And it was a lot of black for the background. It's complicated. It's a complicated thing to do. I mean, I don't like doing hands, actually. I've never been a fan of doing hands. So I try and avoid them the same way as I try and avoid drawing vehicles. I'm not a massive fan of drawing vehicles. So you just gloss over them and you don't draw them. That bit isn't too bad, but it's when you start doing fingers. There's a finger there, and a finger there, and then there's a line here. Hold on. You see, when people are doing AI rubbish, it's lazy. This is what I've taught myself to do. And I'll be damned if anybody takes it away from me. I've taught myself how to draw, and I've been drawing for a long time. I've been drawing since the 70s as a child, and I'm not going to have anything with that kind of rubbish on it. No dweeb with a computer is going to take my ability away with me, away with them. So now that I've put this in, and I've got the shading here, that's given me a guide. It sort of gets easier when you've done this. This section won't be too bad, but it will take me quite a long time to get right. But once you've got the parts done, it's just a matter of shading and shading. It's advanced colouring in, but that's not the exact thing that I'm doing. So the reason that I'm drawing these musicians is I'm working on a personal project. I haven't got a publisher or anything, but it will turn into a book. Now, I'm not going to say who's in it. Obviously, the small faces, and if you look at previous videos, you'll see Slash and John Lennon and Jeff Beck. But I'm not going to say who's going to appear. There is a plan, and it's linked with something that happened in December last year, but my lips are sealed and I'm not revealing anything. But when you do these books, and I've done one before, I did a book to send to agents a couple of years ago. And when you do these books, there's a hope it's going to have to be self-published, and it's going to have to be a soft cover, because I can't afford anything else, and even then 50 copies is going to cut into quite a lot of money that it's going to be expensive. Then you need to find a place to put it and sell it. That's where I've had the problem. But going on to the portraits, I thought I'd got everything done, and then in my head I'm thinking it's sort of nagging that I didn't include one band, and it was really pushing me into getting this band, so I've had to rejig it, and I've got to draw another portrait, but I've got to get some music from them. I've got a greatest hits and a live album from the Isle of Wight, but a live concert from the Isle of Wight in 1970, but I haven't got many albums of theirs. So tomorrow I think I'm venturing out and I'm going to go record hunting. The only thing is, I come from a time when records used to be, well, you could buy them in Woolworths for £1.47. You could buy an album for £1.47. You could buy an album for 99p. And now, well, there's a Deep Purple Live Volume 1 and 2 that I really would like to get hold of. And it's £35 per live album. Not many songs on it, but you know that it's going to be a good album. So I'm going to have to bite the bullet and get it. I may get it for my birthday. I may see about getting it on my birthday, which is next month. Anyway, let's go on to something else, because all I'm doing is chatting and filling the air with sound and doing this. So this will be done. Sorry, I've got a threaded tripod here. Yeah, this will be finished this afternoon, because really I've only got this and some tidying up to do. That's a bonus. Let's go on to something else while I'm on the phone. No, phone. There you go, my head's bad. So, a few days ago, well, previous video, I showed this book. This is Top of the Pops 1989-1990. It says 1990 there, but it's like an annual. The UK annuals, they said 1977, but it was actually for 1978. And magazines are like that as well. So I've shown this before, and I had this sticker album from a comic, but it wasn't full, and it took me ages to find all the stickers, and it was an expensive mission. So you've got the presenters here, and then there's Living in a Box, Wet Wet Wet, Marty Pellow, Johnny Hates Jazz, Cher, Spandau Ballet. Right, Wendy James and Transvision Vamp, Listen to the Trogs and Wild Thing, and you'll hear another song. You'll hear one of their songs. Shakespeare Sisters, Bananarama. Waterfront, I'm pretty sure you don't know them now. They released a song called Cry. Aswad. One of them was in the Double Deckers. Then we get to the Stock Aitken and Waterman page. Now, the reason I'm showing this is this shows what was around in the late 80s. And while I like some of the groups and some of the singers, I mean, I've met Belinda Carlisle, Damien He did one song. It was a cover of Time Warp on the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then disappeared. Paula Abdul, Yaz, and Bananarama, and The Alarm. They were a decent group, and Beautiful South, Simple Minds, then Jericho, New Order. There are some good bands here. Some. Not all of them, but some of them. But it's, I mean, Danny Wilson, Mary's Prayer, one of my favourite songs. But then we get to the dance music that permeated the charts and really stopped me from listening to chart music. It was all over the place, and I like rock. I like blues. Also, if you're about Milli Vanilli, you should know this by now, but the person who created Milli Vanilli, who worked on it, he was linked to Boney M, and they went through the ringer because they mimed, and now you look at today. And of course there's this Kylie and Jason page, and there's the Kylie and Jason page. You see where this is going. And then we get Climby Fisher, Curiosity Killed the Cat, Aha, Perfect Day. I can't remember much about their songs. It's got here that they did King of Fools, but I've got to have a listen to it on YouTube to remember it. Brother Beyond, Duran Duran, We're Going on a Rock Hunt, Fuzzbox, Primitives, Halo James, Martika, Kim Wilde, Bros, Bangles, Black Box, Bruce Willis. Okay, so we get rock with Bruce Willis. That Welcome to Bruno album is fantastic. And then we get Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney and Phil Collins, and it goes on, and oh look, there's rock, Rolling Stones. And there's rock, Bruce Springsteen. And then we go, there's the rock page, so we get Def Leppard, Queen, Bon Jovi, Status Quo, Guns N' Roses. Then it goes to Richard Marx, Tina Turner, INXS, brilliant band, and Michael Hutchence was our version of Jim Morrison. U2 and T'Pau. And then we go into dance again with Bobby Brown. Alright, Donna Summer was in the 70s, but she had a resurgence. Alexandra O'Neill, Janet Jackson, Natalie Cole. But again, you get this, well, where are the rock? You know, it was 1989. We had a lot of rock in the charts. 5-star, well, Jackson 5. Another Neighbours guy, and he was in Bread, the TV series, and Patrick Swayze, and Tiffany and Jive Bunny, which, that annoyed me. And then just finish it off by going across here. And then you get all of these. Now the reason I'm showing you this again is we had a lot of rock acts, and I got into rock heavily in the 80s and 90s. Now we get to these trading cards, which I have got to put in a folder. I've just got them. And this is the American side. This is 1991, so it's around the same time. And we get Winger. Alright, it's linked to rock and metal. Motley Crue. Cinderella. AC/DC. Anthrax. Megadeth. So weirdly, there's no Ozzy in this. Yeah, there's no Ozzy. Tommy Lee's a bit, yeah. There's Black Sabbath in there, but it's the Black Sabbath after Ozzy left. And Tony's there, Tony Iommi, but there's no Ozzy, and also there's no female acts. Now, it was very male-centred. There were female groups. There was Femme Fatale and Vixen for a start. There was also Heart, although they weren't really heavy rock. But yeah, it's a decent. I just don't know why they've put Winger and Anthrax, and Winger's over this side as well. They should have put the band together, and then you get the these with who the people are. But well, we'll start with Winger. You see, what happened to that group was this series. And there's an annoying character in Beavis and Butthead who wore a Winger t-shirt, and it killed the band. And it's much the same as what happened to another Scottish band. I can't remember the name, that's how bad it was. There was a UK TV show on a Saturday called Saturday Superstore. And it had Mike Reid on it. And this show had guests, and they had Margaret Thatcher on as a guest. And she was completely out of place. They got her reviewing music. It'll be on YouTube. And they got her reviewing records, and obviously she didn't like anything. But there was one band, and she said, "Oh, I like that. Is it a bit bumpy?" But she liked How Much Is My Doggy in the Window. Right, okay. But she said, "Oh, it's all right. That's not a bad band." The band tried to sue her because it killed the band overnight. They were an up and coming band, and when Thatcher went and said that she liked the band, nobody bought the album. Nobody bought the single. It killed them. That's how much we hated her. But anyway, we'll go to these. Yeah, I've got Deep Purple on here, and Skid Row, and I've got to get a folder for it. There are Ozzy trading cards out there, but it's a bit hard to find one set. The Osbournes one isn't too hard to find, but I've got the Osbournes set. I do collect trading cards. We had sticker albums in the UK. Very rarely we had trading cards. I do remember picking them up in the newsagents, and they had a free bubblegum stick in them, which I've opened up boxes of trading cards from the 80s, and I'll tell you now, those bubblegum sticks have gone off. The little sticks of toxic hate. You don't want to put them anywhere near anything. I mean, pretty much you should wear gloves. They go into dust. But the Ozzy set, that was early 2000s. But like I've said before, to me, the time progression goes... I wasn't in the 60s, but I know of the 60s. I've got a very close relationship with the 1960s and music. Obviously, I'm drawing the small faces. 70s I know very well, because I was there, and it was awesome. And the 80s I know, but it was all right. There was some brilliant music and entertainment, but my heart's with the 70s. The 90s I never really liked. I really never liked the 90s at all. Things happened, and wasn't my thing. It wasn't my scene, and the 90s I liked with the movies and video games, playing games, but it killed the arcades as well. And then it goes to 2000, and well, I still think the 90s was 10 years ago, and let's just say it goes 70s, 80s, 90s, blah, 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 blah. I have no connection with anything in this era. And now that AI is taking over films, they're trying to destroy films with it. If you do that, if you have AI films, don't expect me to watch. And I will just go back to the past, like I've done with music. I will just buy and watch films from the past and shun the future. Anyway, I have been going on for what, 26 minutes? So I think that's long enough. So I've just got this to do, and then I can have a break. But I'm burnt out, I need a rest. So there's the small faces. Still got work on here. Still got a bit of work, but it's getting there. It'll be finished today. Thank goodness for that. Then I'll do maybe a rock act, rock metal, classic rock. That's where I usually am. So there's a bit of work got to be done, but not much. See ya.